In today's video, we're diving into the most valuable, ultra-rare US coins that collectors are desperately hunting for right now. These aren't just coins, they're hidden treasures. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, a simple Lincoln penny, and realizing that this tiny piece of copper in your pocket could make you a millionaire. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for a rare group of collectors, that dream has become a reality. Today, we're diving into one of the most extraordinary coin eras in American history, the 1979 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, an era so rare and valuable that it could fetch up to $7 million in the right auction. Yes, you heard that correctly, $7 million. Have you ever wondered how something as ordinary as pocket change could suddenly become a ticket to unimaginable wealth? How a coin sitting in a jar, forgotten in your kitchen drawer, could transform your life overnight? If you've ever asked yourself, how can I sell old rare coins? How do people make money from coins? Then you're about to discover why this Lincoln penny isn't just money, it's history, art, and fortune, all wrapped into a single tiny circle of copper and pride. Let's start at the beginning. The year is 1979, a period when the US Mint was producing millions of Lincoln pennies. Among them, the Denver Mint struck a handful of coins with a rare error, a misaligned or missing mint mark, creating what collectors call the 1979 D Lincoln penny error. Now you might think, it's just a mint mark, how could that be worth millions? That's exactly the trap most casual collectors fall into. The truth is, rarity drives value, and in the world of numismatics, the tiniest anomalies can become the most sought-after treasures. Here's a question for you. How often do you check your pocket change? Seriously, the average person tosses coins aside without a second thought. But what if, buried in that stack of pennies, lies a rare gem that could change your life? Imagine the thrill of discovering a coin worth millions, the excitement, the disbelief, the rush of knowing that what you once called spare change is now the kind of money that could buy a mansion, a luxury car, or even a private island. It's not just money, it's a story, your story, waiting to be told. And let's be honest, not everyone gets this opportunity. Most people overlook the power of coins, dismissing them as mere pocket change. But here's the secret. The 1979 D Lincoln penny error is in high demand, and collectors are desperate to add it to their collection. These coins rarely appear on the market. When they do, they spark auctions that make headlines, with bidders competing fiercely, driving the price to staggering heights. And that's exactly why you need to know how to identify one, because the moment you spot it, your life could change. Now, let's pause for a second, yes, a pause. Imagine me asking, did you ever think a coin could outshine your stock portfolio? Or outperform your retirement savings? Sounds crazy, right? But here's the thing, coins like the 1979 D penny error are not just collectibles, they're investments, assets that hold value and even appreciate over time. And in today's market, rare coins are commanding record-breaking prices. So, how do you know if you're holding a 1979 D penny error? First, you need to understand the telltale signs, anomalies in the mint mark, unusual doubling, or misaligned impressions. If a penny looks different from the rest, don't dismiss it. That slight imperfection is what collectors and numismatic experts are hunting for. And remember, timing is everything. The sooner you recognize it, the sooner you can take action, whether that's getting it graded, certified, or sold through the right channels. Speaking of selling, here's a burning question for many. How do you sell old and rare coins in the USA? Where do you even start? The answer is simple, but crucial: auctions and certified coin dealers. High-end auctions like heritage auctions or Stack's Bowers are where the real money happens. Coins with certified errors, like our 1979 D penny, attract collectors from all over the world, each willing to pay top dollar for the chance to own a piece of history. And yes, even local coin shops can sometimes help, but you need to know the right questions to ask. Is the dealer experienced with rare errors? Can they authenticate and grade the coin accurately? Your diligence could mean the difference between thousands and millions of dollars. Let's inject a little humor here. Because if you're still thinking, it's just a penny, what's the big deal? Well, imagine throwing a penny in a fountain and watching someone dive in after it. That's how collectors feel when they spot a rare error, they're willing to chase it relentlessly. And this is exactly why attention to detail matters. That tiny D on a penny isn't just a letter, it's a doorway to an incredible fortune. Now, back to the excitement. Picture this: an auction room, tension thick in the air, collectors' eyes locked on a coin displayed in a glass case. Bidding starts. 100,000, 500,000, a million, and suddenly, $7 million. $7 million! That's not just a number, that's proof that rarity, patience, and knowledge can turn even the smallest object into a life-changing asset. And that, my friends, is the power of the 1979 D. Lincoln penny error. You might be asking, can I really find one in my pocket change? Can I turn my coins into millions? The answer is yes, but it requires vigilance, curiosity, and education. Start by examining coins you already have. Learn the details that differentiate a regular penny from a rare error. Keep an eye out at flea markets, estate sales, and even in jars of old coins at home. The path from pocket change to millions is paved with awareness and action. Every coin tells a story, and some stories have endings more thrilling than any movie. And here's an emotional truth: many people miss their chance because they assume it's impossible. Don't let that be you. The 1979 D. Lincoln penny era proves that extraordinary wealth can hide in the ordinary, that fortune favors those who are curious, persistent, and daring enough to look closely. Imagine telling your grandchildren one day, "I found a penny in my drawer, and it changed my life forever." That's the legacy this coin can create. By now, you're probably wondering about the next steps. How do you maximize its value? How do you make sure you get every penny you deserve? The key is to get your coin certified and appraised. Numismatic experts will examine it, confirm its authenticity, and provide a grading that dramatically affects its market value. Once certified, you have a ticket to the high-stakes world of auctions where collectors are ready to pay top dollar. The urgency here is real. These coins are vanishing fast, and each moment you wait could mean missing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So, what does this all mean for you? It means the ordinary can become extraordinary. It means that knowledge is power, and attention to detail could turn a forgotten coin into $7 million. It means your curiosity today could be your fortune tomorrow. And it means that every coin in your pocket or collection deserves a second look, because you never know which one could be your golden ticket. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a single, ordinary-looking penny, and discovering it could be worth $3 million. Yes, you heard that right. $3 million. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly looked at the coins sitting in your drawer, your car cup holder, or that forgotten jar on your shelf? Could one of them be silently waiting to change your life? Because today, we are uncovering the extraordinary story of the 1984 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that most people overlook, yet one rare version has stunned collectors and shaken the auction world with a value reaching up to $3 million. Let's begin where every life-changing discovery starts, with ignorance. Not lack of intelligence, but lack of awareness. Millions of Americans handle pennies every single day without ever realizing what they might hold. You might be one of them. And that's not criticism, it's opportunity. Because once you know what to look for, everything changes. Now picture this. It's 1984. The United States Mint is producing millions of Lincoln pennies. Most are completely normal. Nothing special. Just another year, another coin. But somewhere in that massive production line, something unusual happens. A small mistake. A subtle error. Almost invisible to the untrained eye. And yet, that tiny imperfection transforms an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. So what makes the 1984 no-mint Mark penny so valuable? Here's where things get interesting. The most famous and valuable error associated with this coin is the double die obverse. That means certain parts of the design, especially the date and lettering, appear slightly doubled. Not dramatically. Not cartoonishly. Just enough to signal rarity. And in the world of coin collecting, rarity equals value. Now let me ask you, have you ever checked your pennies for doubling? Have you ever tilted a coin under light and looked closely at the numbers? Or have you been unknowingly spending potential treasure on coffee? Here's the truth that might shock you. The difference between a 1-cent coin and a $1,000,000 coin often comes down to attention. That's it. Attention. And here's where the fear kicks in. What if you already had one and spent it? What if that penny slipped through your fingers years ago because you didn't know what to look for? It happens more often than you think. Coins of significant value are lost every day simply because people don't recognize them. But don't let that discourage you. Let it ignite urgency. Because right now, as you're watching this, there could still be rare coins sitting in your home. Waiting. Quietly. Patiently. Ready to reward the person who takes action. Now let's shift gears. Let's talk about you. You're not just watching this video for entertainment. You're here because something inside you is curious. Maybe even hopeful. Maybe you've asked yourself, how can I sell old rare coins? Or, how do I turn pocket change into real money? Or even, is it really possible to go from coins to millions? The answer is yes. But only if you act with knowledge and intention. Selling rare coins in the United States is not just about finding a buyer, it's about positioning your coin correctly. Auction houses, professional grading services, and specialized coin dealers are constantly searching for rare pieces. The key is authentication. A coin like the 1984-era penny must be verified and graded before it reaches its true market value. Now think about this. Would you sell a potential $1,000,000 coin for a few dollars at a local shop? Or would you take the time to get it evaluated, certified, and placed in front of serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar? This is where excitement meets strategy. Imagine your coin being displayed in a high-end auction. Collectors from across the country, and even the world, bidding against each other. The price climbing. Your heart racing. And then, the final hammer falls. Sold. For a life-changing amount. Sounds like a dream? For some people, it has already become reality. But let me interrupt you for a second. Quick question. If I handed you 10 pennies right now, would you know what to look for? Or would you just glance and move on? That moment right there, that decision, is the difference between opportunity and misfortune. Now let's connect everything. You have coins. You have access. You have curiosity. What you need now is awareness and action. Start checking your coins. Look for doubling. Look for unusual details. Learn the signs. And most importantly, don't rush to sell without understanding value. Because the journey from pocket change to millions is not about luck, it's about preparation meeting opportunity. And here's the powerful truth. This isn't just about coins. It's about mindset. It's about seeing value where others see nothing. It's about asking questions like, how do I make money from coins? And actually pursuing the answer. It's about refusing to overlook the small things, because sometimes, the smallest things carry the greatest rewards. What if, right now, sitting quietly in your drawer, your wallet, or even your car's cup holder, there's a coin worth not $1, not 1,000, but $2 million? Stay with me, because today we're diving into a story that could turn your everyday pocket change into a life-altering fortune. Picture this. It's 1985. Millions of Lincoln pennies are rolling off the presses, ordinary, unnoticed, and quickly forgotten in the rush of daily commerce. But hidden among those countless coins, a few rare era pieces are born. Flawed. Imperfect. And yet, those very imperfections are what make them priceless today. The 1985 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is not just a coin. It is a silent lottery ticket that many people unknowingly carry. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually examined your loose change? Not glanced at it, but truly looked at it. Because here's the truth most people ignore. Wealth often hides in plain sight. And the people who recognize it first, they win. The 1985 D-penny, minted in Denver, appears ordinary at first glance. But certain rare era versions, double die errors, off-center strikes, and unique minting anomalies, have stunned collectors. These are not just collectibles. These are assets. In the right condition, with the right error, These coins have reached astonishing valuations. And yes, whispers in elite collector circles suggest examples that could command up to $2 million in the right auction environment. Sounds unbelievable? That's exactly what most people say, right before someone else cashes in. Imagine the excitement of discovering one. Your heart starts racing. Your hands tremble slightly as you realize, this could be it. This could be your moment. From pocket change to millions. From ordinary to extraordinary. But here's the catch. If you don't know what to look for, you might spend it without a second thought. So let's slow down for a second. What should you be looking for? Look closely at the date. Does it appear doubled? Are the numbers slightly misaligned? Check the lettering. Is there a shadow-like duplication? That could be a double die error. Examine the edges. Is the design off-center? That's another powerful indicator. These are not flaws, these are signatures of rarity. And let me interrupt you for a moment with a quick question. What if you already had one and didn't even know it? What if yesterday you handed over a coin worth a fortune for a cup of coffee? Feels painful, right? That's why awareness is everything. Now let's talk about something even more important. What do you do if you think you've found one? Because finding a rare coin is only half the journey. The real transformation happens when you turn that discovery into real money. How do you sell old rare coins? How do you make sure you're not being underpaid? How do you go from holding a coin to holding a check that could change your lifestyle forever? First, authentication is key. Never rush to sell. Take your coin to a reputable grading service. Professional grading not only confirms authenticity but can dramatically increase the coin's value. A certified coin carries trust, and in the world of high-end collectors, trust equals money. Next comes the strategy. Where should you sell? Auction houses? Coin dealers? Online platforms? Each path has its own power. But here's the secret. High-value coins thrive in competitive environments. Auctions often bring out serious collectors who are willing to pay extraordinary amounts to secure rare pieces. And now let me ask you something that might shift your entire perspective. Are you treating your coins like spare change, or like hidden investments? Because the difference between the two is often millions of dollars. Think about the lifestyle this could unlock. Financial freedom. Security for your family. The ability to live life on your terms. All from a coin that most people overlook. That's not just exciting, it's empowering. But there's urgency here. The market for rare coins is growing. Collectors are searching. Demand is rising. And every day, coins are being lost, spent, or forgotten. The longer you wait, the higher the chance you miss your opportunity. Let's break the pattern for a moment. Imagine telling your friends that a penny changed your life. Sounds almost funny, right? A penny. The smallest unit of currency. Yet in this world, it can become the biggest turning point. So what's stopping you? Why not start today? Go through your drawers. Check your old jars. Look at those coins you've ignored for years. Because somewhere in that pile, there might be a story waiting to unfold. And as we come full circle, remember this: every great fortune begins with awareness. The 1985 Lincoln penny is more than a coin. It's a reminder that opportunity doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it whispers, quietly sitting in your pocket. So I leave you with this. Will you ignore it like most people do? Or will you take a closer look and uncover what others have missed? Imagine this. You're sitting at your kitchen table, casually sorting through a jar of old coins you've ignored for years. Maybe it's something you picked up from a grocery store, or change from a coffee run. And then suddenly, your fingers freeze. One penny looks different. Slightly off. You lean closer. Your heart starts to race. What if that one small coin could change everything? What if I told you that an ordinary-looking 1989 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark could be worth as much as $6 million? Yes, $6 million. Now, before you dismiss that as impossible, let me ask you something. How many times have you overlooked coins in your pocket? How many opportunities have slipped through your hands simply because you didn't know what to look for? And more importantly, what if your next handful of change holds the key to a life you've always dreamed of? This is not just about a coin. This is about awakening to a hidden world of opportunity that most people ignore. The 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those quiet legends. On the surface, it appears completely normal. But certain rare error variations, subtle differences in strike, alignment, or design, have turned this coin into one of the most sought-after treasures among collectors. The kind of treasure that doesn't just sit in a display case. It transforms lives. Now pause for a second. Isn't it ironic? The smallest denomination of currency, potentially holding the largest reward. It's almost like the universe is testing who's paying attention. So what exactly makes this coin so valuable? It's not just age. It's not just rarity. It's the story behind it. Error coins are born from mistakes, tiny imperfections during the minting process. Double strikes, off-center prints, or missing elements. These mistakes are what collectors chase. Because in the world of coins, perfection is common, but imperfection is priceless. Let me ask you this. Have you ever made a mistake you thought ruined everything? What if that mistake was actually your greatest hidden value? That's exactly what happens with these coins. And here's where things get exciting. Some versions of the 1989 penny without a mint mark have surfaced with extremely rare characteristics. These aren't coins you'll find every day. But they are out there. In drawers. In jars. In forgotten boxes. Waiting for someone like you to recognize them. Now imagine this scenario. You discover one. You verify it. And suddenly, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding leverage. Power. Freedom. But then comes the big question, how do you sell old rare coins? Where do you even begin? This is where many people hesitate. Fear creeps in. What if I get scammed? What if I undervalue it? What if I miss the opportunity? And that fear has cost people millions. So let's break that barrier right now. Selling coins is not complicated when you know the path. Auction houses, certified coin dealers, and online marketplaces are your gateways. The key is authentication. You must have your coin graded by a professional grading service. This transforms your coin from a guess into a verified asset. Think about it. Would you sell a diamond without certification? Of course not. The same principle applies here. Now here's a quick reality check. Not every 1989 penny is worth millions. But the ones with the right error, the right condition, those are the ones collectors compete for. And competition drives price. Sometimes to unbelievable heights. Let me throw a question at you. What would you do if tomorrow someone offered you $6 million for something you almost threw away? Would you still ignore your pocket change? This is where excitement meets urgency. Because coins like these don't announce themselves. They don't glow. They don't shout. They sit quietly, waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. And here's something most people don't realize. Millions of valuable coins are still in circulation. Not locked away. Not hidden in museums. But moving, from hand to hand, every single day. Which means your opportunity is not in the past. It's happening right now. So how do you start turning pocket change into real money? You start with awareness. You start with curiosity. You start by asking questions. What year is this coin? Is there a mint mark? Does anything look unusual? Could this be an error? These simple questions can open doors most people never even see. And let's be honest for a moment. How many financial opportunities exist today that require almost zero investment? No startup cost. No inventory. No risk. Just knowledge. That's the beauty of coin collecting. It's not just a hobby. It's a treasure hunt. And the treasure is real. Now picture the end of this journey. You've done the research. You've checked your coins. Maybe even found something promising. You send it for grading. Days feel like weeks. Weeks feel like months, and then the result comes back. Rare. Authentic. Valuable. At that moment, everything changes. You're no longer just someone watching videos about wealth, you're someone stepping into it. And when you finally place that coin into an auction, when collectors begin to bid, when the numbers climb higher and higher, that's when it hits you. All of this started with a single penny. So let me leave you with this. What's sitting in your home right now that you've overlooked? What small detail could hold massive value? And most importantly, are you willing to look? Because the difference between those who find life-changing opportunities and those who don't is simple. Point one group pays attention. The other scrolls past. So the next time you receive change, don't just spend it. Study it. Question it. Respect it. What if the next coin you casually pull out of your pocket isn't just a penny, but a life-changing fortune hiding in plain sight? Imagine this for a moment. You're standing in your kitchen, sorting through loose change, maybe even thinking about tossing it into a jar, and suddenly, one tiny detail catches your eye. A detail so rare, so powerful, it could turn that single cent into $6 million. Sounds impossible? Or does it? Today, we're diving into one of the most electrifying discoveries in modern coin collecting, the 2013 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny era coin. A coin tied to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, produced under the authority of the United States Mint, yet carrying a mysterious flaw that has collectors whispering, searching, and in some cases, cashing in big. But let me ask you something right now. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Not glanced, really looked. Because what you're about to learn might change that habit forever. This story begins quietly, almost too quietly. In 2013, millions of Lincoln pennies were produced. Most were ordinary, predictable, and worth exactly 1 cent. But somewhere in that vast ocean of coins, a tiny anomaly slipped through, a 2013 penny with no mint mark where one should exist. At first, it meant nothing. But in the world of rare coins, nothing can quickly become everything. Here's where things get interesting. Normally, coins minted in Philadelphia often carry no mint mark, but specific production expectations, die variations, and era conditions can make certain no-mint coins extremely rare depending on how they were struck. And when collectors began noticing inconsistencies, subtle differences in strike quality, alignment, and missing identifiers, the buzz began. Now picture this: a collector, much like you, discovers one of these coins. At first, doubt creeps in. Could this really be valuable? Then comes verification. Experts examine it. Magnification reveals unusual characteristics. The coin isn't just rare, it's nearly unique. And suddenly, what was once spare change becomes a headline-worthy treasure. And yes, whispers in the high-end collecting world have pushed the theoretical ceiling of such ultra-rare era coins to staggering heights, up to $6 million under perfect conditions. Let that sink in. One coin. $6 million. So here's the question you can't ignore. What if you already have one? Think about your daily routine. Coins from grocery stores, gas stations, old drawers, forgotten piggy banks. How many times have you overlooked them? How many opportunities slip through your fingers because no one ever told you what to look for? Now let's shift gears for a second. Quick reality check. If pennies were worthless, why are serious collectors obsessing over them? Why are auctions filled with intense bidding wars? Why are people flying across the country just to inspect a single coin? Here's the truth most people miss. Value doesn't come from the coin itself, it comes from rarity, demand, and story. And the 2013 no mint mark era? It has all three. But let's make this practical for you. You're probably wondering right now how to sell old rare coins. How to start selling coins without getting ripped off. How to make money from coins instead of just collecting dust? Great questions. And the answers could reshape your financial future. First, awareness is your greatest asset. Before you sell anything, you need to know exactly what you have. That means checking dates, mint marks, and unusual features. Even the smallest error, something most people would ignore, can multiply a coin's value thousands of times. Second, authentication is everything. Would you sell a diamond without verifying it? Of course not. The same applies here. Professional grading services and expert dealers can confirm whether your coin is the real deal. And once it's verified, its value skyrockets in credibility. Now let me ask you this: would you rather sell your coin for a few $100s today, or position it for a multi-million-dollar auction tomorrow, because yes, auctions are where legends are made. High-profile auction houses bring together elite collectors who are willing to pay extraordinary prices for rare finds. This is where pocket change to millions becomes reality, and if you're sitting there thinking, "But I've never sold anything like this before," you're not alone. Every successful seller started exactly where you are right now, curious, cautious, and just a little skeptical. But skepticism can be expensive. Because while you're hesitating, someone else is searching. While you're ignoring your coins, someone else is inspecting theirs under a magnifying glass. Let's break the pattern for a second. Quick question. If I told you right now there's potentially thousands, or even millions, of dollars sitting in your home, would you check? Or would you scroll past and forget this ever happened? Because here's the urgency you can't afford to ignore. Rare coins don't stay hidden forever. The more people become aware, the harder they are to find. Every day that passes, the chances of discovering one decrease. That window of opportunity? It's closing. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine being the one who finds it. The one who recognizes the value before anyone else. The one who turns a forgotten penny into a life-changing moment. That's not luck. That's awareness meeting action, and this brings us full circle. This isn't just about a 2013 no-mint mark penny. It's about a mindset. A shift from ignoring small things, to recognizing hidden value. From dismissing possibilities, to exploring them. So the next time you see a penny, don't just walk past it. Pick it up. Look closer. Ask questions. Could this be rare? Could this be valuable? Could this be the one?